Welcome to part two. We're just waiting for Terry to join us. Women loving, men want to be in. I'm on, lad. He'll be here in a second. And we can get to the nitty gritty. Then, can't we? I suppose about what's been going on. Let me just pour this cup out. Where's Terry? Where's Terry? Where is he? Well, I want to talk about the Dana White situation with him. Uh, Has he even clicked on right video? He'll be in a second. Have a look. I'm addicted to this Nescafe Azura at the moment. I like it. Not that I want to be a coffee snob. Right, well, I'll go through it all myself, shall I? Seeing as Terry's not on yet. Where is he? Where's Terry? What do I think about Dana White and Turkey joining forces? I think it's a good thing, me. I do, honestly. Eddie's talking retirement. He's going to have to up his game, isn't he, now? Or get out of the sport. But without Joshua and Conor Ben, who's he got, really? And Conor Ben's not won anything. Joshua's not been a world champion since 2020, I believe. His last world title win were who? Pooleth, an old man. So it is what it is. Here we are. Here's Terry. Here's Terry.
Yeah, Terry.
Hey?
Eh?
Here's Terry. Women love him, men want to be him. What do you think to me out, man, little Reggie give me?
Hey, listen, man, you're on trend as always.
You know what? He give me
Yeah.
this, and all his twin sister Ruba gives me is heartache.
Isn't that always the way?
She's sending me a text. She's calling me bro. Well, what's all this?
What?
Bro, what? I don't know if it's just a phase she's going for. So whatever happened to dad? I don't know. Okie doke. Uh, Eddie Hills. Hang on a minute, I'll start again. In the blue corner from Billericay. 7-0, 5 by way off, fresh after his TKO victory over Ben Shalom that Marcus McDonald called a TKO, but it was a push. Eddie Hills! Hills, the Iceman! I love doing that, don't I, Terry? Right, Eddie's talking retirement in his 49-minute sit down on IFL and a 32-minute sit down with one of them other gimps, camera jockeys. It's just retirement, and what does he think about the Prime Minister and favourite crisps and all that? And where's it end all this? When we're going to get some boxing talk about who he's got in his stable from the UK, other than Joshua, who's not been a world champion since he beat Pulev in 2020, I believe. I have to check that, but I think it's about 2020. And Conor Ben, who's never won a belt. Area English, British, Commonwealth, European, or world. Not got any of them 6-level belts. So, who's he got in the UK? That's what I want to know. And where's Eddie now in the mix now that Turkey and Dana White are having a little love affair behind Eddie Hills' back and Brick Tops? What do you think?
Um, so let's look at it from this perspective. The Saudis are buying into the zone, right? So it's not that Turkey just controls boxing; like they have control over the broadcaster as well. If you own 10% of a broadcaster, you got some leverage. So Turkey calls the shots, essentially. Like he controls boxing now because there's no real TV outlets apart from the zone right now. ESPN will get out of boxing pretty soon. If you look at the UK, Sky will get out of boxing pretty soon. It'll just be whatever happens on the zone. And Hearn's he's reading the rune stones, isn't he? And he can see that There's no superstar after Joshua. We don't have one right now.
2020 pool left. That's when Joshua last won a world title fight.
Yeah. So there's no real superstar coming. Once Joshua and this lot go, that's it. And Hearn's like, can I be bothered? And the answer is no, because remember, this is the kid who went to Brentwood School, right? And those sorts of schools teach you how to find an opportunity and exploit it. He found an opportunity with Joshua and he exploited it.
Oh, did they? Did they? Oh my God. Did they? Well, he's had 60 million out of the job, hasn't he? So he's telling people behind the scenes there was 60 million out of it. A big Ron told me that ages ago as well. He's had 60 million
Really?
out of Joshua alone. They've done well out of it, haven't they? And they've got him tied up for life. So Joshua's never going anywhere. But don't be surprised if Joshua only has one more fight or two more and then calls it a day because he's not going to want to keep getting knocked about. I mean, the man's got 4 losses now. He's got more losses than Dylan White. You know,
But
and
but we wait, hold on. But this is something we all need to start talking about. Why do the losses matter?
what do you mean? Because he's a big draw, he should still be pay-per-view.
Well, no, but if we keep talking about losses, we don't give fighters an incentive to roll the dice, right? I'm okay with fighters losing.
Yeah.
Like I said this about Chisora, right? If you look at Chisora's record, it looks like an old school fighter's record. There's a lot of wins, there's a few losses, there's a couple of draws, I guess, somewhere. And you look at that
like
record,
a Gene Tunney type record, isn't it? You know.
yeah, and we need more of that. This idea that you can leave your career with like 1 or 2 losses. No. Now, there's a handful of people who can get away with that, Floyd being one of them. And maybe Usyk will be one of them as well. But generally, if Joshua's got 4 losses, I'm like, good. That shows that a couple of times he went in over his head and a couple of times he did all right. And that's cool. That's what I want in boxing. The only issue I have, Porky, is that it took so long to get to that point.
Yeah.
And the lies that we were told about him, they're the issues I have. Him losing, I'm okay with.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my argument is this. If you're getting beat all the time, what are they going to be wheeling him out, telling us that Joshua's pay-per-view after 7 losses or something? They're still going to keep wheeling him out, even though the kid's getting knocked about and talking like the lazy rhino, like that. Are they going to keep wheeling him out and be telling us that he's got a new trainer yet again and he's still got something left in tank and all that? Because we can see that Joshua's been took to meat market, hasn't he, by these people, who the establishment, and they're still taking him to meat market, aren't they? Even now,
Yeah, they need him.
they need him.
They need him.
What do you think about Jonathan Banks
training Joshua?
Yeah,
That's a waste of time. Waste of time. Jonathan Banks is just another Malik Scott. I don't believe you can train someone if you don't have the steel in you.
Yeah.
Those guys don't have steel in them. I hear people go, yeah, but they're boxers, there must be this. Go and look at how they fought in their careers. They didn't fight with steel. Like you see someone like Curtis Woodhouse, right?
Yeah.
He may not have accolades when it comes to boxing in terms of like glittering amateur careers. And he may say some kooky stuff online, and he does, and I love him.
Kurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right, man. He's all
yeah,
right.
I got a lot of time for him. Because you know what, he's got balls and he's got an opinion, so I respect that. But look at Curtis, right? You know Curtis has got some steel about him.
About him. Listen, there was a kick-off in an Indian restaurant years ago over his way in Driffield, and it's a famous story, and Kurt were knocking mofos out. And they were all at it, and he didn't back down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Him and who we were with. So I've always liked him. He's been up to studio. I've spent a bit of time with Kurt, and he's all right.
That's who you want as a trainer. You want someone as a trainer where you're like, if it kicked off in this gym today, he's getting busy.
He's got your back here. He's a tough kid from a tough area, and he can have a do. You know
That's it. Yeah, and I don't see that in Malik Scott, and I don't see that in Jonathan Banks.
You mean because Jonathan been mollycoddled when? Do you think?
Sometimes it's just not in you. Like you can do all the technical stuff in boxing, jab and move and all that. You can do that, but then there always comes a point where you've just got to be a dog and go, fucking man, we're banging out. I don't know if those guys. I don't. I don't think they can do it when there's someone in the ring as good as them.
Okay.
That's my test. Yeah.
Next
Can you?
tip. Go, sorry.
As the can you jump in with someone that's as good as you or a little bit better than you, and can you turn that in your favor?
Hmm. Okay. Let me just give a big shout out to Peter DeFreitas. Hope you're well, Peter. Hope it went well with your blood tests. Big,
Legend.
we'll get Peter on again when he's up to it. Big shout out to Canada's boxing channel and Andy's Cavern. Give them a subscribe and follow
Which one is that? Is that the Andy guy?
Andy, yeah, Aberdeen. Andy, who's not from Aberdeen, he's got his own YouTube channel, Andy's Cavern.
Yeah, yeah, he's all right actually. Like
All right, isn't he, Andy?
yeah, yeah. I've added him to the list of people that I have to get a little download of every so often. Yeah, yeah, he's good.
I'm going to see him in next month. We're going to up Kielder, is it up Carlisle to British Rally Championships? Going to go up there,
Okay,
have a weekend with him.
you gonna have a little go?
No, I'm not going to have a go. What in my Volvo? No, no, I'm not going to have a go. I'm just going to go watch. But I've been before. It was a long time. I was 16 years old when I went last time. And
I did my work experience at Pro Drive when I was a kid.
did you? What, like Brian Cockrell?
Who's Brian Cockrell?
The tax man from Middlesbrough. You never heard of him? He's a legendary storyteller on YouTube.
No, so I had a friend at school, and her old man bought into Pro Drive early on, and I'm a big rally fan, and so I got to go to Pro Drive for my school work experience. And
Well,
yeah,
I went.
that I'm
Sorry, go on.
now I'm obsessed with. Yeah, I'm a big rally aficionado. I love rallying, like proper drivers. Those are.
Well, when I went years ago, and Andy will back me up on this, you get these diehards that when cars go by, they try to touch them, don't they? And they get the fingers ripped off and stuff, all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Remember the Group B cars that used to just
Well,
pull
I
off the
was I
road?
was just coming to that. When I went, it was the big wars were Lancia, them Lancia S4s into Growlers. They were like Henry Toyman and went off a cliff, didn't he, and died, didn't
Yeah,
he? They were Lancias, and I think the other ones were, I think they might have been RS 200s.
or
The
500s.
Peugeot 205s and stuff like that, but the Lancers were like super, like, why they called them Group B, I don't know, but they were 0 to 60 over at gravel in 2 seconds, weren't they? 2 seconds,
Yeah,
light, aren't they?
because you
Well,
had the 205 T. I think it was TI6. You
when they were
had
coming through Forest, I remember, because all it is traipsing over fields and stuff, and like I was getting pissed off. Do you know what I mean? But I went with lads that were a lot older than me, and I wanted to knock around with them. Do you know, I was always one of them kids who always wanted to knock around with lads who were in the 20s, and I was like 16, and we went in an XR3 for weekend. But I remember traipsing over fields to different stages for like hours, and it was sleety and I was cold, and I was moaning my bollocks off. And I can remember pissing a few people off, and I was like, God, nobody told me it was like this, and they had all like, all Berghaus and all proper gear, and I was there, and I wasn't like prepared for it and all, and I didn't have gloves, and I was freezing my knackers off in a Capri coat. I'll never forget it, mate, and it cheesed me off. But this time I will be prepared. I've got all wellies and all job lot this time, and the coat, so I think I'll be all right. But I didn't enjoy it, but I probably ain't going to enjoy it this time because obviously I'm older and I'm not going to be just stuck there with 25 quid in my pocket this time. So I'll probably have a good time and might be at a hotel. I don't fancy any of that overnight knackers, but Andy's a bit of an hardcorer, isn't he? So I don't know what him and his lad have got planned. But he's into all that open water swimming, isn't he, and stuff like that. So I've a good idea that we'll be in an hotel and he won't be.
well, you
Well,
just
I'm
be
looking
camping.
forward to it. You all right?
Well, you'll just be camping.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably. I don't know, but he's right into all that. Like, he sent me a couple of videos. Do you know where they filmed the James Bond one? Is it Skyfall, where you get to see the house Bond grew up in up there? He's from up there, isn't he? And he sent me a video of him bouncing down this road in a Type R Honda. That's his, because he's into all that kind of thing and American cars, and he's an engineer, isn't he, and all that. Like, so,
That's
he,
an interesting
what
guy,
he
man.
did,
Like, yeah,
eh?
that's an interesting guy right there.
Very interesting. I'm not going to say his job on here, like, because he don't want me to say it, but let's just say he's a very highly qualified guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's a good kid, so I'm looking forward to it. But I'm not looking forward to any of that cold weather knackers. So I've got a plan B, kid. Whereas before, I didn't. I used to have to follow that crowd when you're 16 and you're knocking around with 23-year-olds. You know what I mean? You're like a tag along, aren't you? Well, there won't be a tag along this time. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. The Froch Crusher interview that's going to be out in it tomorrow.
Mate, I know you're waiting for that.
I'll get some rake stick if I don't comment on it more. He's
This,
got.
this will be
You don't
the
really
this
have
could
to
be the
put it on
beginning of the
him,
end.
Terry. You don't have to put it on him, does he? He just got to ask him a couple of simple questions. But it's not putting it on him, is it?
No, Porky. No. There are questions you want Frosh to ask, and if he doesn't ask them, we're going to be looking at Russ's opinion on this and go, Russ, what do you say? What say
Well,
you?
I can assure you that I am pretty transparent, and I let the Ben Whittaker one go and the Turkey one go, and I put that down to he forgot his lines. But this one, it's very, very simple, really. He might have got stage fright with Turkey because obviously he's angling to get a fight with Jake Paul, Carl, and so he's not going to want to rock the boat. The Ben Whittaker one, I'm saying you forgot to ask proper questions on that because it wasn't really that important. But this one, who he has got to. He's got to come out and do the doing it. Or I can't buy into his channel. Can I? I can't. Well, why would you say all you've said and then not ask the real questions? I don't want to hear Crusher Ben say, well, I can't really talk about that. And Froch go, oh, okay. No, that ain't going to work for me. He's got to say, look, come on. How did clumping get in your system? And where's this 274-page dossier? Have we got it? Can you show us any invoices for this £1 million lawyer bills you've had? Show us invoices. We all get them. I get them. Invoices from lawyers. Show us them. Show us your invoices because it's
Yeah.
knackered. So it's a
And
knack.
who would have paid it?
Pardon?
Who would have paid it?
Who
Connor
paid
hasn't
it?
made it.
Because we know he didn't pay it because them cars he's got are on lease. So it's just
Yeah.
all fur coat, no knickers. So it's just bullshit for the sake of bullshit. So, but when they come out with all this, well, we can't talk about it for legal reasons. That's like being caught robbing a bank and going up police interview. Obviously, you're caught bank to rights. You're just going to go no comment, aren't you? For a deal. Now, I want to see some proper questions asked, or what will be, won't it? My
Nah,
concept
no, 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 no.
concept to my channel is for 7.5 years we call it out, don't we? No,
So
I've fell out with people before. Fell out with listen. I used to call it to Dennis, didn't I? In his office when I'm working, and I'd do a quick video with him, and I'd put it on him. And after he said, you a little whatever. Do you know what I mean? And he'd laugh about it. Dennis, he'd laugh it off because he can take it. Peter Fury would laugh it off going in helmets, big mouth then, but. I might have, yeah, I'll have to bring Weapon of the Week back, I think.
well, tomorrow.
Well, we're going to see, aren't we? It's supposed to be tomorrow, isn't it? He said he was going to be out for the weekend, so he did it last week. So they had a week to edit it and mess about with it and probably check with Eddie Hills if it's okay. We don't know, but I'll be all over it, I can assure you, because just how I am, innit? It'll probably bother me, it'll hurt me to say what I'm going to say, but I will go after him if you don't ask questions, and that's what's needed, I think. Well,
Yeah.
you
You're gonna
know,
give him that Andre Ward treatment.
I'm not going to slag him for Andre Ward because I thought he finished that fight strong. I thought he fought wrong game plan. But getting back to this, there's no reason why he cannot ask these questions. Because if he don't, how can we take his channel seriously with everything that's is said and about we're transparent and we ask the questions on here, Froch on Fighters, where it's that fastest growing channel and all that. And then you get the biggest interview in the last 2.5 years, and then you bottle it. Let's hope he doesn't. Right? I'm praying that he doesn't. Because everything else you've said beforehand, it don't mean out then, does it? So that's just where I'm at with it. Is that harsh?
Nah. You sound like a dad that had to smack his kid, man. You know when you got those conflicting emotions.
Yeah, it'll hurt me, but
Mate, you shedding a tear.
nearly. Well, listen, she said to me, listen, don't you be not saying your bit, Russell, if he don't do what he's got to do. So you know. So get your stuff and get.
It's like when Hulk Hogan had his ribs broken by earthquake, and all the kids in the crowd were crying.
I'll be gutted if you don't ask the proper question because I'll be really disappointed. I will. I will. I'll be disappointed because obviously I've spoken to him about various topics and certain things, and I want to see him go after Conor Ben, not go after him like try and cause problems because I know he's mates with Tony Sims, isn't he? So it's going to be hard for Carl, isn't it? This, isn't it? And but we've got to. If you can't be took seriously if you don't go after him, can he? I
Yeah,
can be serious.
so there was a poison chalice. Why would you do the interview? Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, you're Carl Froch, you're going to get the views regardless. Like, you're
Yeah,
not going to go
exactly.
from what you currently do to 1 million views. It's just not going to do those numbers, and
No.
you're going to risk your reputation. That's madness.
Well, we're going to see, aren't we? But he hasn't had an interview with Eddie, has he? Because he's fell out with Joshua, hasn't he? So Eddie's not going to go on his channel, is he? I'd be surprised.
No,
Or will
no, I wouldn't. Like, listen, you know, when those kids come from Brentwood School, they'll do whatever they want to do.
he? Yeah.
Like, they're loyal to their ambition only.
Well, do you think, Terry, that they might have let him have this Conor Ben interview, right? Knowing full well that he's not going to ask the proper questions to show him up. Do you think they've done that?
Yeah, I can see
To
that.
show himself up. So it's going to be
Yeah,
interesting, Carl, isn't it? But stand up and be counted. And all the rest of it, all that on the hard road and Eddie Hills, the six and no ice man, but where's the footage? All that. I'm not bothered about all them little one-liners that he takes off me. That don't bother me because I find that funny. But I want to see him ask Conor Ben a few simple questions because he's got the access. And I can't go after people like the Gad, Juggies Oliver, Judge Jordan, Darren Barker, and all the rest of them, and then leave the Cobra out if he's going to just fall into that little mould with them. Can I? Because he was sticking it to all them money, Gad and all them lot.
you
So,
know what? No, no, but there's some hidden rules here that people won't know about, Russ. And one of them is you don't bite, right? So, like, for example, with you, I can't now go around going, I don't even know, Femi Joshua. I can't do that, right? Because that's your thing now.
yeah,
I mean, you don't bite other people's thing because that's what their audience expects of them. So when
yeah.
I saw Froch biting and not giving credit, I was like, yeah, I hope you're
You
swinging
mean
him some
nicking me
money, bro.
one-liners?
Hmm?
You mean nicking all me one-liners that I've been using years?
Yeah, you can't bite like that, man. You got to come with some fresh, like you got to have your own stamp on things. Do you
Listen,
know what
all
I
we
mean?
do, Terry, is very, very simple. Do you know when you're watching telly with your bird, you sit there, right? You have that, a writing pad, you have it on the floor, and something will come into your head, and then you jot it down. And end at 90-minute film, like we watched The Last Castle with Robert De Niro, Robert Redford overnight. End at film, I had about 8 or 9 little bullet points, and a couple of them were like gags. And I thought to myself, that's all you do, and then you build it up, and then it's trained in here. But when other
Yeah.
people are using them, it don't really bother me that much if they're asking proper questions. But when they're not, like the Bob Whittaker one and the Turkey interview, oh, I thought, God, why didn't you ask this? Why didn't you ask that? Maybe he got tongue tied. But this one, there's no reason for him not for him to be tongue tied, is there, or stage fright or whatever? Because sometimes you lose your train of thought when you're interviewing somebody, and afterwards you say, because I've done obviously 3,800 odd videos. After you think, oh, I should have asked that. But on this one, the Crusher Ben one, when you've got an editor as well and all that, he has all this stuff's edited and there's money spent on it. There's no reason for him not to ask these questions. So it's 3 strikes and out for me. And he didn't really go after Bellew the other day, didn't he, about the arse licking that he does and the bias. He didn't ask that, but I'm not really bothered about Bellew. I couldn't really after 5 minutes into it, I couldn't stomach it, I had to turn it off. But this one, there's no reason why Carl Froch cannot ask the questions. And I think he will, but I think he might get shut down quickly. But get shut down. So we're going to see. So we can't judge yet, but he's got to. Otherwise, can't take him serious, can we, as a media guy? Okay. Uh, Big Top, why is he so angry lately? Why is he so angry at the moment? Why?
Who's he angry with?
I don't know. He just seems to be angry in his interviews and I don't know. I just seems to be losing his rag a bit quick. Do you think? it's because of this with Dana White and Turkey.
Um, no, because like the boxing model doesn't work for what Dana White's trying to do. The money it would cost to get everyone under a single contract isn't worth it, right? So you're not really going to get, you're not going to get your Usyks in that fighting under Dana White, are you?
Yeah.
You're going to get guys like Tevin Farmer. You're going to get guys like in the UK, maybe like a Steve Woodall or Lerone Richards. You're going to get the guys who are looking for a second, third, fourth, even fifth chance. That's what you're going to get on the Dana White show. And then they'll just do it as if they say, look, these are just competitive fights. Yeah, they're no world titles, but this is entertaining. And that's where you might see these guys like Victor Ortiz come back and your kind of Andre Bertos come back. That's what I
Andre
think you're really looking
Berto.
at.
You're not going to dig him up, are they?
Yeah, he's still training. Why not?
And Victor Ortiz. I remember Victor Ortiz at one point had flattened everybody in his first 25 fights, hasn't he? Even though a couple of them he'd lost, he'd flattened everybody, took them down.
Yeah.
Dropped them. And he were like really on top of his game, wasn't he?
Yeah, then who was it he fought? Was it Josecito Lopez or Maidana? And he was like, I don't deserve to get beat up like that.
Yeah, but Maidana, and what was that other one? Mayweather. Mayweather put him in his place, didn't he?
Yeah, let him know.
But okay. What's John Pilata up to now?
John's just chilling, man. Family life, chilling. I don't think he's gonna box again.
No.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah, nah. He's all right. He's got a couple of businesses going. He's stable, he's settled, he's happy. That's what I care about.
The word round the village where I'm from is that White Rhino and Elmer Fudd, apparently it's a done deal. They're going to announce it. It's how they're
Good,
saying.
good. Let's see if Johnny Fisher's learned anything. And then if he hasn't, Russ, you might have to stick it to another one of your mates.
Mark Tibbs.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm going to have no mates at this rate. I don't know. Just text me.
But no, but he's gotten away with no questions being asked over his gym, whereas Ben Davison takes bullets all the time.
Ben Davidson, though, let's have it right. What has he done with anybody from debut? Same as Bombay Dave. They've not
Well, no,
done
no,
that.
no, 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 no. What has Mark done with anyone from debut?
Well, he had that opportunity yet with anybody from debut, has he?
John, what was the kid's name?
John
Tommy
Edgers.
Fletcher. Tommy Fletcher.
Tommy Fletcher left him, didn't he?
Well, after he lost, yeah.
It's a tough game, isn't it? It's a tough game.
No, 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 no. You could don't call Froch me, Porky. We ask the tough questions on this channel.
There's still time yet for Tim. I wanted to do something with somebody from debut.
No. Look, I don't mind Mark. Yeah, training's a hard game, and I wish Mark all the best. I'm being honest. What I'm saying is, we pick and choose which trainers we throw rocks at, and the things that Ben gets criticized for, Mark doesn't.
Same with Shane McGuigan, with you.
But what's Shane really put wrong? The Craig Richards
Squeaky though, isn't he,
situation.
Shane? He's squeaky clean, isn't he? Mr. Clean Cut.
Well,
Oh, Johnny Bravo.
he was until the Craig Richards thing. And then it was like, nah. If what Craig's saying is true, then no way.
Do you know
You
why I
can't.
respect Mark Tibbs? Because when Daniel Dubois and his father went round to that gym, and I've been to that gym a few times, when they went round and they had that afternoon there, at the end, Mark Tibbs went, nah, you're not for us. Because the old man were getting too involved. And I kind of respect that because there were a lot of dough on offer for him to train Dubois. And he went, nah, not for me. So for me, he ain't about dough. But I think that the father were too involved. Whereas Don Charles, your man, he's prepared to put up with all that, innit? I mean, Chisora sacked him 6 times and he took him back. So that to me is a brass. You know what I mean? It's like your wife shagging about 6 times, you keep taking her back. Do you know what I mean?
Nah,
That's
Russ.
how I
Wait,
look
wait,
at it.
wait, wait. Okay, so let's imagine, right? Let's imagine the only way you could put food on your table was Porky's Corner, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You would end up doing videos you wouldn't normally do.
But I'm all right on it because this is like an hobby and it pays for
Yeah,
itself, doesn't it? But I
yeah.
see where you're
But
coming
if
from. Yeah, I see where you're coming
yeah,
from.
if you had to feed your kids and do all of that stuff with Porky's
Oh,
Corner,
Would I
You,
interview Eddie Hearn? No, I wouldn't. I've got a bit of pride about myself. I said, "Right, there's no steak tonight. It's beans on toast with pork sausages. There's no McDonald's tonight, Reggie. If I can't have my chicken nuggets and chick McDonald's, I'll be suicidal. Or my kids love McDonald's. Don't they? I said, no,
yeah,
beetroot soup tonight. We'd have to
but
do it out, wouldn't we, like in miners' strike?
but we have to challenge this notion that you
Yeah, I
know,
see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. Yeah, Don Charles has got to put food on the table.
yeah,
Yeah, I see
you
what
know,
I didn't think Derek treated him very well, to be honest, when I saw his interview. I mean, it looked to me like Derek was just turning up, doing what he wants and paying him when he wanted and all that.
so yeah, and remember, I got to see it up close for months. I got to watch how Derek and Don work together.
Yeah.
Derek's just Derek, right? And it's very hard to. You're not going to impose yourself on Derek. Derek will tell you what he wants, and that's pretty much it.
Well, I think Derek should hang him up, but he's wanting his 50th fight. But I can assure you, he'll have 60 fights in. Get ready.
Yeah, mate. As long as they're paying him six figures, he ain't retiring.
No, is he? He's just going to keep piling that dough up. He'll just keep turning up, won't he? But I think at this moment in time, if he could end up taking one fight too far in and end up in a mess. He really could, honestly.
Yeah, it's a worry. Yeah, and but then flip it around and go, who's? I mean, if let's say he ends up broke, who's going to care? I mean, we're not going to put our hand in our pocket for him after that. We're not. So he's got to do what's right for him and his family.
Yeah, he has, mate. He absolutely has. Okay, we'll finish off on this. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury said they had a big announcement, or Bricktop said there's a big announcement next week. Well, that announcement's a week late because that should have been last week up to Friday. Well, we're a week on now, so it's like a week after. Well, it could be 2 weeks after he even mentioned it, innit? Where's the big announcement? And is Fury Joshua in talks? Because Tyson Fury's come out defending Joshua's resume and people being critical of him. So are they getting ready for a Fury Joshua fight? And then they're going to ride off into the sunset? Apparently they're both worth over 200 million now. So they don't need any more money. They should really take what they're offered, shouldn't they? You think?
I don't think we're closer.
I think we're
Uh,
further away now, Turkey's with Dana White, because they're not going to start paying them what they were demanding last year, are they?
no, this is so. So let's look at the moment. Usyk needs a dance partner, right? And that's looking like Dubois. So, so those two are off the table for Joshua to fight. And that for Joshua, that leaves three options: Dillian, Fury, or Wilder. And if Wilder's done, then you swap Wilder out with Chisora. They're Joshua's three options, right? They're the three viable options for AJ. And which is the most likely?
I don't know, but I don't think they're going to put Joshua near any danger, Terry, me personally. I don't think they'll do that because he could get put on button moon, couldn't he, really? He's that fragile now, isn't he?
He's 36 this year, so he's not. I mean, his peak is probably 3 or 4 years gone. Right?
Yeah.
So we're on the downslide of his career now, and that's a harsh truth for us. We're on the downside of all of their careers. It's the downside now. So just put the freak shows on, man. Let's pay the pay-per-view, get the freak shows on. Let's get it all boxed off by the end of this year.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
then we just start fresh next year with a whole new generation of kids.
Yeah, there's not wrong with that, is there?
Nah.
No, no wrong with that at all. Okay. Well, listen, I'm off for some beans on toast now.
Listen, man, some of us are fasting still, so I can't eat that till like 6.
I've been out on bike and I've done a little circuit and done my sit-ups and that. And I've only had two big coffees. But I just fancy beans on toast. I'm sick of tomatoes on toast. I'm going for beans today. I'm going through a toast phase.
Mate, you can't get over your penitentiary life, can you?
No, I can't get over it. I miss it. I miss the
Just there with a
discipline.
metal tray in your own kitchen.
I miss the discipline of prison life, you know. I miss it. I do miss
Yeah,
it.
well, you see, keep the beans on toast and the rubbery scrambled egg.
Beans on toast, can't beat it, can you? I remember going somewhere with Dennis and we were looking through this menu. Like, 'cause he eats out all the time, doesn't he? I'm like, he says, "What do you like out on here?" I says, "You know what, Dennis? I just fancy some beans on toast." So he sorted it so I could have beans on toast. They fetched it over on this plate, in this posh restaurant. It were two slices of toast. They didn't put butter on from it. The beans were in a little pot, and I went, "How's that beans on toast, love?" I want my bread a bit soggy and that. Loads of butter on and the beans poured on, but yeah, well.
You got to evolve, Russ, man. You got to sometimes, you know, food is about the experience, and like that experience of just shoveling it out of the pot. I mean, that can make your whole evening.
I was down your way and they fetched me over this dinner. This is a bit back, and the first time I said, "Hey, where's plate?" Fetched me over this dinner on this wooden block. I said, "What's that?"
Mate, that is the height of fine dining now. Yeah, that's how you get your steak. That is how you
Plate,
get your
man.
steak, mate.
It's like you know when I was a kid, you'd have your Sunday dinner. We used to have our Yorkshire pudding first, and I look at in restaurants now and they bring this big Yorkshire pudding out, and all dinner's in middle of Yorkshire pudding. I said, "Don't you have
Yeah.
Yorkshire puddings first? You know, like a starter."
Oh my god.
So anyway, listen, thanks for coming on, Terry. It's been a
No worries,
pleasure.
mate.
Have
Yeah.
a good weekend. You obviously be watching Sky tonight, won't you, with boxing?
I'm gonna try, but I'm be watching Froch this weekend, mate, and then I'll be watching you.
Watch him bet. Oh no, yeah, you'll never let me live it down if I don't rinse him, will you?
I will have questions. As you said to John Fury, I'll have some serious questions for you.
John Fury 100 and 0 on the hard road. 100 by way of.
All
It's okay, mate.
right, take care.
Right.
Bye.
Well, that was Terry Chapendama, a banker from Zimbabwe, educated in Sheffield Uni and living in London. All right, pal, Terry. Must be nice, eh? That's about it, really. I bet he got a good mortgage. We've been a banker. That's about it. I hope everybody's enjoyed this two-parter. It's a bit of banter, a bit of a chat. I've got James on, one part tonight, and that's it. That's 21 videos, 7 days. 3 a day to keep the wolves and the taxman at bay. That's about it. One piece out. Max! Don't even call me Max until you're a super middleweight. You might never ever get to call me ever again. One piece out. And Clinton, next week, as we agreed, piece of carrot cake and a cuppa. All right, just let me know what day. All right, pop, pop, bang.